Okay, we've got a 50-50 set up here. So 3 stations in a row, 50 seconds of 1, 50 seconds of 2, 50 seconds of 3, then you go back to the first one, 50-50-50, then a 50-second rest, and then move to your next 3 stations, 50-50-50, 50-50-50. Equipment that you'll want, a bench or couch or chair. We're gonna have some dips off of there. We'll have some split squats, pistol squats. So make sure you know what kind of height you need for those. We'll need some different weights. If you just have one thing that you've been using, use that. If you have different weights, you'll want a heavier weight. We'll have actually unsupported bent over row, have some goblet squats, so that'll be a heavier weight. You'll want probably some medium weights for a single leg RDL, curl. Again, you can use the same weights for those. And then we're also going to have some rear flies. So some light weights there, some tacates or something like that, that will work for those. So first circuit, we're going to have a hand walk to push up. So you're going to walk forward, push up, walk back up. We're going to have a goblet squat. So you're going to want that heavier weight here. And then the last thing is going to be a Russian twist with a press. So you'll be sitting on the floor. You'll probably want a light to medium weight for that one. So we'll go in about 10 seconds. Hand walk to push up will be the first one. And remember, it's 50 seconds of 1, then 2, then 3. No breaks in between. Push up on this one.
All right, here we go. Hand walk plus push up. The push up could be 1 to 5 reps. You might start with 1 on the first, do 2 on the second, 3 on the third, however you'd like to go about it. But we are doing a hand walk out to a push up position. So not too far overhead, hit a couple push ups, hand walk back in, drive the hips up, take the hamstring stretch. Generally a decent warm up drill for us. If you stretch beforehand, fantastic. If not, that's okay. If and when you need to drop the knees for those push-ups, do so seamlessly and then work back to the toes for the hand walk. Our second exercise is going to be a goblet squat. We'll get a dumbbell or some sort of weight under chin and arms. 5 seconds. Closest thing to is that 62-pound kettlebell right there, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm willing to take a few extra steps.
Under chin, guys, brace the core, sit back into it. Push the knees out gently, squeeze the glutes at the top. Weight stays heel dominant. Inhale down, exhale up. I'll take the next 30 seconds off of the cueing. That was all you need. Tempo's okay. If you have a lighter weight than what you might need, perhaps you don't lock out at the top. Maybe just continue to move through that range of motion. 15 seconds here.
Russian twist and press.
Yeah. Next thing, we'll go Russian twist plus overhead press. We're gonna stay in a 1-1-1 format. So 1 left, 1 right, 1 overhead. If you have a weight or medicine ball, grab it. If you don't, you can go body weight just as well. One's to our left, one's to our right, and 1 press overhead. One's to our left, one's to our right, 1 press overhead. If you're familiar with this exercise, feel free to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, as we would in class. If you're always starting with your left side or your right side, let's be sure we switch on the second round of exercises. 20 seconds out. Leaning back could increase the difficulty quite dramatically, as well as pulling heels off the floor. But if it's too much in the hips or back, then stay in a more regressed position. 10 seconds. 5. Hand walk to push up. Anywhere between 1 and 5. Hand walk back in. We're gonna have some push-ups later, so don't worry too much about killing yourself on the push-ups. $15 seconds out. 5. As a reminder, after hand walks, we go into that goblet squat. So bell under chin. way down, standing tall. Exhale, squeeze the glutes a bit. "25 seconds. "10. 2. We'll take the Russian twist with overhead press. And then after this, we'll get a little air. If you need a little more, lean back some more, pull the heels off the ground, extend out, grab a little more weight, rotate a little slower. 20 seconds here. "10. 'Resting for 50. I only recently saw the third thing. I had stopped last time in a double leg BF and had been further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing those.
Yeah, I don't know. Incredibly warmed up. We'll see what happens.
3 things coming up. Goblet, lateral lunge. We'll go dumbbell under chin. Sit off the side. I'm going to stay on the same leg for duration. We'll then go into double leg V-ups. My back's a little funny, hips a little funny, so I'll do a couple double leg, but then likely regress to a single leg V-up, which you can follow suit if you want to, or you can stay with double leg V-ups. Third thing is a burpee. You can push up if you want, but you don't have to, but we'll do burpees as our third thing. So first thing, goblet, lateral lunge, bell under chin, sit to the side. Stepping out, sitting the butt back on each one, 2. And then just come back up if you want to do that balanced position with the knee drive. That can make it a little more challenging with balance. Keeping that stationary leg straight as you sit out into it, so lots of times you'll feel a little stretch on the inside of that leg. Exhale as you're pushing yourself back up to the top. And try to keep these smooth. If you're good at these, as heavy a weight as you can get a little deeper with them. Work on that balance. 10 seconds to go. The next one's going to be those V-ups there, double leg or single leg. If you can do single or do double, go with that. And so some different options for these as far as how far up you're coming. Some people are pretty good at coming all the way up into that real V, where you're sitting up with it. If that's a little aggressive, keep it more of a crunch movement. So that would be more of the V. Crunch would be keeping that low back and mid back more down on the floor. Single leg would just be pulling one leg up at a time, keeping the other leg down, and you can alternate sides if you're doing them that way. 20 seconds to go. But keep some control, not just heaving yourself up there. That's when you can start putting pressure in the low back or getting the hip flexors in a bad spot. So 10 seconds to go. Then you've got your favorite burpees coming up next. 4. Should have done another V-up. So coming down, if you want to get that push-up in, that's going to make it a little more challenging. Getting a little hop up off the floor at the top. And just think about good smooth reps. If you need to take out the push-up, you just do that little kick out and then the hop up. But tempo is going to make these more challenging. Getting your chest all the way to the floor is also going to make it more challenging. 20 seconds to go. Make sure you're breathing on these. You still got another round of each station coming up. Last 10. Then you're going to grab onto that weight and you'll get those lateral lunges. So stepping out to the other side. See if you can get that balance too, especially coming after the burpees. It's a little more challenging to stay steady. Got 20 seconds left. Next one will be those V up. Different variations for you. 7 seconds left, maybe 2 more steps. Then get your weight out of the way, laying on your back. Again, you've got the options. If you're feeling a little bit more tired or a little tighter here on the second round, stick to some single leg ones. You can even bend the knee a little bit. But think you're using your abs, you should not be feeling it in different places than that. Think abs, little crunch up, and then slow release back down. 20 seconds left. Last 5, then you'll flip over, get into those burpees. At least we're getting them out of the way early here. Or maybe we'll do them again in one of the later circuits. Have to find out. Just keeping them smooth. You'll get a break after this. So try to push yourself through these last 25 seconds. Twelve seconds. Last 5. There we go. You did it. Next circuit, we're going to have dead bug opposite reaches, where the opposite arm and leg are going to fall out. We're going to have hand releasing push-ups, where you're coming all the way down, hands up, and then pushing up. And then you're going to want your bench or chair or couch. We're going to have a split squat with a pulse and a hop coming up. So you shouldn't need any weight for those. Only equipment you'll want here will be the bench or couch or chair.
5 seconds out.
So dead bugs first.
We do a few things in this movement pattern or starting position. One thing is a static dead bug, one thing's opposites, and then one thing is that core extension. All 3 kind of follow the same intent. Low back's down, core stays snug, lots of control, not a lot of speed. 20 seconds out. Second thing is going to be the hand release push-up. So here in 10 seconds, roll over, stomach's down, chest to floor, hands up, hands down. 5. It could be from toes or from knees. If you have any shoulder or pec issues, the hands don't have to come off the ground that far. You could even leave them on the floor, but kind of release that load and then press back into floor. Even like a 1/16 of an inch of clearance at the bottom is fine. So if it's straining your traps or if you feel something funny, try to get the hands really high off the floor. Don't worry so much about the height. 20 seconds. Third thing's gonna be a split squat, pulse, and hop. So bench, coffee table, chair, something. 1 pulse, 1 hop, 1 pulse, 1 hop. 5 seconds out. One foot on, little pulse, little hop. Arm integration here would help. That means also that if you felt strong, that it wasn't challenging, hands could be across the chest in a static position or on your head. That would increase the difficulty quite quickly. Let's be sure to remember which leg we have forward here. 15 seconds out. After this, we'll go back to the opposite dead bug. 10, 5, 4, extend opposites. Take your time, good breath. Pay attention to the distance between your hip bones and your rib cage. Try to make sure the distance doesn't open up. So keep it closed, nice and snug. If you find you're disengaged in the core and relaxing a bit when your heel touches the floor, don't touch the floor. It should be tight throughout. It shouldn't be a starting and stopping position. It's all tight throughout. 15 seconds, and then hand release push-ups again. 5, 4. There aren't a lot of things we do for speed. This could be one. If you drop, hands up, hands down quickly, quick press. If you felt strong, and then also limit the amount of time you spend on the floor as well as at the top of the rep. So nice quick touch, and then as soon as you finish that push-up, drop right back in. 15 seconds, then we have split squats again, and that will finish the series. 10, 3, 1 pulse, 1 hop. Give yourself enough space there to settle into the heel. In 25 seconds, we'll take a 50-second rest. 15, 5, 4, resting for 50 seconds. You see a nice break before we hike off right here, right? First station coming up, single leg RDL plus curl. So we'll kick back, reach, stand to a curl. Second thing's gonna be a cross crunch. So that'll be on our back, 1 foot over top of the knee. Kind of like a single-sided bicycle of sorts. And the third thing's gonna be a push-up with a pulse at the bottom. So we drop in, pulse press, piece cake. A little bit of hamstring, a little bit of core, a little bit of chest. 10 seconds out.
If you want to trade one of those out for burpees, go ahead.
Good.
That last circuit reminded you how much you like those. So good single leg RDL, back leg stays straight, curling up at the top. So keep your body in a nice straight line from the back of your head down to your back heel. A little bend in that knee that you're standing on. But you think about reaching your hips back too, so you can shift your midsection backwards. You might feel a little more weight going to your heel when you do that as well. But you've got good tension in the hamstrings. Your glutes doing a ton of work to pull you back up. It is a deadlift, so think about that. It's a single leg deadlift variation. 10 seconds to go. You're going to be on the floor for that cross crunch next, so you'll be on your back. 5, 4. So you got 1 foot crossed over the other knee, and then you're pulling the elbow towards that opposite knee. And so that off shoulder, the side where your hand isn't up on your head, you're still trying to keep that lifted up off the floor. So you're not just rolling your body to that opposite shoulder. You're actually lifting both shoulders up a little bit. You're just lifting that up one up even more towards that opposite knee. If you want to try it with your foot off the floor too, do that for more of a challenge. 10 seconds left. You're going to be going down into that push-up with a pulse for the next one. Just stay on the floor, roll over. Just trying to get all the way down, then a small pulse at the bottom. So a couple inches up and down, and then back up to the top. If you're really strong with these, slow that pulse down more, spend more time in the lower part of the push-up, and less time up at that top position. You can always do these from your toes as well if you're strong with them. 20 seconds left. But smooth reps. We don't want that pulse to just be 1 inch up and down and you can't even see, or you'd miss it if you blinked. We want to see a good drawn out pulse. So 6 seconds to go. Then you're going to grab those weights again. Single leg RDL with a curl. If you don't have 2 individual weights, you can always just use one thing. If you got a milk jug that you're using, you can just have 2 hands on that, reaching it down and then curling it up to your chest at the top. Think about trying not to let that foot down on the floor get too tense. Not let those toes curl up underneath. Really good balance on this one. A lot of posture work too. 20 seconds, and then you're going to be down on the floor for those cross crunches. Seven. So you're going to have your other foot up on that other knee. Reaching up and across. So you can see on this side how his off shoulder is still coming up off the floor, not just rolling over to that side. Should be a very focused, deliberate crunch with the abs there. You feel the obliques working too, and you got the middle of the abs working. Got 15 seconds to go. You're going to finish this circuit out with the push-up and pulse. Know how you feel? So get down, you got the pulse at the bottom. Good big exhale as you drive yourself up away from the ground. And then after this one, we're going to get a 50-second break. 3, 4. And we're over halfway through the circuit too, so that's good news. 10 seconds. Another couple of reps here. Really pushing the palms into the ground. Alright, catch your breath.
You're halfway done. I'm more than halfway done. They are more than halfway done. I like that. I like 2-3 series. It's good.
Yeah, after your second one, you're more than halfway done. That's really nice. You're already 2/5.
That's pretty good. I don't mean to brag or anything, but I'm way ahead.
I'm always trying to keep up. So we'll have, you'll want your light weights or cans or whatever you've got. We'll have a single leg rear fly. We're going to have a side plank with a reach. So down on your elbow, turn and reach up. And then the last one is going to be mini skaters. We're just going to be reaching side to side there.
Single leg rear fly. You're probably in a similar position to the end point in your single leg RDL. So where you might end in that single leg RDL is probably a good position to hold here. If your stability is not fantastic, set that back toe down lightly. Otherwise, just hinge on that one knee, one hip. Hang out there. Both glutes stay tight. As you draw the arms back, it's a slow, deliberate pull. It's not a dynamic swing. A little bit of a pinch between the shoulders. Try to stay out of the traps. 10 seconds here. And after this, we'll go into a side plank with a reach under. 5, 2, side plank, nice big reach under the body. Rotate the hips a bit, rotate the chest to a vertical position. If this is not bad, you could grab a small weight and repeat the same exercise or mimic this with a small weight in hand. 25 seconds out. If you need to, we can stack the bottom knee down at 90 degrees, kind of take some load off the obliques. 10. 2. Mini skaters. That is the third thing in the series. So finish up this first round with some skaters. And then it's not about the lateral distance here. You can stay pretty tight as long as the other arm, the opposite arm is reaching toward the opposite foot. A little bit of a balancing sensation, get across the body. 10 seconds here. Then we'll go back to the single leg rear delt fly in 5. Switching legs here, kick the other foot up and back. Glute stays tight, nice long arms, take your time. Twenty seconds. Good. And 10. Second thing is going to be a side plank with a reach under body. 2. Make sure you switch forearms here. Nice big reach. Stack the feet. If you need to, again, put that bottom knee down at 90. A big reach under body. Turn the hips a bit if you'd like. And then again, you can take a weight with you. 30 seconds, and then into skaters to finish the series. $15. 5. Mini skaters coming up. 2. Good, up on your feet. Little pop, little catch, little pop, little catch. Take your time. Work on some stability. If you have space to get a little bigger, you can. Just make sure that back foot's not touching the ground, so pop across, reach the arm. You should be pretty deep in that almost pistol squat, reverse lunge, Kirchi lunge base when you make that reach across. So nice deep squat, hand almost a foot. 15 seconds here. Ten. 2. Good, breathe. 50 seconds off. We're going to start with a bench glute bridge. In the next workout, it's like 5 push-up stations. For you? We're going to have to share them. All right. Bench glute bridge will be our first thing. I kind of lay out across the bench. If you have a coffee table or whatever, arms can be out long across the chest, however you want. Double leg is from here, dry squeeze. Single leg follows the same pattern. Second thing is going to be a pistol squat. I'll use my bench again. Third thing will be a crawl. We're going to go forward and backward. Unless you're going to get fancy and circle crawl or lateral crawl, you're welcome to. 5 seconds out.
So you're keeping most of the weight on the heels. If you want to keep your toes down, you can, but still keeping most of the weight on the heels. If you want to keep the toes up, that's fine too. Get to that good top position where it's a straight line from your shoulders through your hips to your knees. And that's when you're squeezing your butt as hard as you possibly can. If you need to hold your head a little bit with your hands, you can do that just to make sure your neck's not getting strained in any weird way. But control that tension on the way down too. So you got the butt tight at the top, and then try to keep squeezing it tight even as you lower. So 8 seconds to go. Next one's going to be that pistol squat. So a little more glute work there too. So you'll use that bench or couch or chair. By now you should know what height feels pretty good for you. You can always continue to challenge yourself by lowering that height if possible over time. But make sure you're close enough to the bench where it's there to catch you if you don't get back up. Heel is pushed down into the floor again on this one. Should be feeling the butt a little extra coming off those glute bridges. Other foot is out in front. It can lightly rest on the floor if you need a little more balance. You can keep that leg straight or you can bend it. 15 seconds left. And then the last one in that circuit is going to be the crawling. So you'll be down on your hands and your toes. Three, two, one. So this can just be a forward backwards crawl. Unless you're short on space, you can always do a circle crawl too. But opposite hand and foot moving together. If you're really strong with these, slow yourself down when you've got one hand and foot off the floor. So spend more time uneven there and less time with everything down on the floor. Backwards changes things up a little with the coordination. You got to push through the shoulders a little bit more too. But good flat back, looking straight down at the floor. And breathing. 15 seconds to go, and then you'll be back up on the bench for the glute bridges. Five. All right, round 2 through here. So get those shoulders, upper back up on your support there. Drive those hips up. Think about pushing that belt buckle up towards the ceiling. And just like with any of our other glute bridges, you just get to that nice straight line at the top. Don't try to push beyond that. What happens is you'll oftentimes arch your low back to get that extra height at the top. So just going up till you get to that nice parallel line. 15 seconds to go. So 8, and then you're going to be into that pistol squat, sitting back to your object here in 4. So other leg down, other leg up. Sitting the butt back if you can. You're just going down to put some light pressure onto that object, not trying to sit all of your weight down. If you do end up putting all your weight down, keep it pretty short and then push back through that heel. Get yourself back up to the top. $20 seconds to go. And after these, you'll finish up with that crawl. Five. So last one here in this circuit, we'll get the 50-second break after this, and then we're on to our last circuit. So good, slow, deliberate steps here. Keeping the weight pretty distributed there, upper body and lower body, so you're not all on one side or the other. But shoulders and arms working a lot, your quads are engaged the whole time, and then the whole midsection has to have constant tension. So we've got 12 seconds left, then you get your break. Four, 3, 2, 1, and got it. Good. So this circuit, 3 stations are going to be dips. So a chair, whatever object you have, you're going to be leaning on. We're going to have an unsupported bent over row. So this would be good for a medium to heavy weight, whatever you have. You're going to be here rowing up. And then in, out, squat jumps for the last one, sitting down into it and tapping in the middle. So we'll start out with the dips here.
Alright guys, a couple cues for the dips. Back stays tight to the object. If you're using a coffee table or something, don't hit it with your back, just stay nice and snug. Elbows are going to work toward a 90-degree bend, keeping it more shallow. We'll keep the effort down a little bit. If you have any shoulder issues, you definitely want to probably stay away from 90 degrees, but toward 90, and the foot placement here is also going to make a big difference. Feet out long and straight makes it hard. Feet tighter to body can take some effort off. But for 50 seconds of dips, it's not easy regardless of the approach. Ben had mentioned it, I'll repeat it. A unsupported bent over row will be our second thing. So in 5 seconds. If you know right off the bat this isn't for you, use that other elbow or forearm into the front quad. Otherwise, unsupported, use your core, use your glutes, use your back. Ben's got a good demo of a self-supported here, single arm bent over row. 30 seconds out. And you might switch it up, you might go unsupported, self-supported, unsupported, self-supported. Just take your time. Third thing coming up, in, out, squat jump. So we'll tap narrow and then out to that big squat position. Pretty quick tempo, 10 seconds. Nice job, Ben. 5. In, out, squat jumps. Watch out for your surrounding items. Feet together, feet out wide. Did you watch Prime last night? The show we were talking about?
Ozark?
Yeah.
It wasn't on there.
Really?
Yeah. I need to look again. I did a very quick search and I didn't
Last night?
Yeah.
Pretty sure we jumped on Prime last night and watched it last night.
Really?
Because I almost texted you because we
Which
would
season 2?
we would have been season 2 episode 1, which is where you are.
I'll look again.
Yeah. Because I was gonna text you and ask if you were watching at the same time we are. We get like started at the same time. 5 seconds out, guys. After this, back to bench dips. Send some emojis back and forth, some
Every time
expressions.
someone died. Okay.
Here we go, bench dips. Lock and load. Maybe you commit to 15 good reps, knowing you're gonna take like a 5-second break after those.
Or maybe 5 reps for 15-second break.
That's cool too.
Depending on how you're feeling.
$20 seconds. Almost done today. We got bench dips, the unsupported or self-supported row, and those in-out squat jumps and some stretches. 10 seconds. 5. Good unsupported or self-supported row here. Nice flat back, nice long spine. Integrate that forearm, elbow when you need to over that knee. Exhale and pull. If this gets in your back more than you want it, stand tall, shake it out, breathe for a second, and then go back into it. 20 seconds. And a lot of the self-supported or unsupported is going to be based off the weight you chose. 10. 2. Good. Last thing of the day in the workout, in out squat jumps. Tap narrow, pop wide. Set a nice tempo and then hold on. After we finish these, we'll take about 30 seconds to switch into some stretches. The first stretch is going to be the figure 4 hip stretch. So you'll be on your back. So on the back side of these jumps, just lay down, recover for about 30 seconds, and we'll start some stretches. 20 seconds. Ten. 2. Good. Take 30 seconds to get into position. Lie on your back. First thing, figure 4 hamstring. Set up like the cross crunch.
Figure 4 hamstring or hip?
Sorry, hip. You're right. And then grab the front of that knee if you're able to. If mobility-wise you can't get front of knee like Ben has now, you'll grab the back of the hamstring instead. So just a slight change in hand placement. We'll do 50 seconds on each side here. Ten. 10. Good. Take 10 seconds to switch sides. A very long 10 seconds. All right, switch sides. In 20 seconds, we're going to go into wrist/forearm stretch where our palms are on the floor, fingertips are faced away from us. We're in a kneeling position. Five. 4. Then only put as much tension in the wrists and forearms as you need to. Leaning the body away will make it a little harder or more aggressive, you might say. So just be gentle here. You might be in a position where your palms can't even be on the floor, which is fine. Just a little wrist forearm action here. After this, we're going to turn the hands around, a more normal position, going to cat-cow. So we'll do one set on the wrist forearms and then move forward from there. Five.
'Did you say cat-cow?
Yes, please. That's all right. I'm used to not being listened to.
Yeah.
You you guys, bed, kid, dog. It's alright, it's good. We'll do the cat-cow just a single time, guys, as well. And as always, if you feel like you want more stretching, hang out, rewind the video, maybe mute the commentary.
Bullshit.
15 seconds here.
This is the last thing.
Yes. 5. Nice job, guys. Good job with those burpees today.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully you enjoyed them.
Peace.